A whisper chills the air, a resonance of divine timing. You're here now at this precise moment because a gate is closing. Not a gate of wood and stone, but one woven from celestial threads, a celestial more about to seal shut. This knowledge isn't stumbled upon, it finds you when the veil is thinnest, when the ancient energies align to deliver a crucial truth. We've been taught to see a planet, a distant orb of gas and ice, but Saturn is more than that. It's a warden, a multidimensional jailer whose influence seeps not just through space, but through time itself. Its signature is everywhere, encoded into the very fabric of our existence. Think about the 7-day week, a cycle that dictates our lives, our work, our rest. This isn't a natural progression, it's a construct, a deliberate rhythm set by an ancient power. And the black cubes, the stark monoliths we encounter from boardrooms to religious sanctuaries, they echo a primal, dark geometry. These aren't mere symbols, they are nodes, anchors for a pervasive frequency. This frequency, the hum of Saturn, doesn't govern planets, it governs consciousness. It's designed to trap us, to loop us through cycles of limitation and suffering. Societies worldwide, knowingly or unknowingly, replicate these rites, these ancient Saturnian rituals, perpetuating a system of control. The truth is chilling. Your pain, your struggles, they might not be random accidents of fate. There's a deeper mechanism at play, an engineered reality where suffering is not just a byproduct, but a resource. This revelation forces us to confront a terrifying possibility. Has any of the anguish you've experienced ever truly been your own? We've now touched upon Saturn's role as a warden and the ancient codes embedded in our weekly cycles and monumental structures, but the true nature of its influence goes deeper still. In the next section, we will dissect how this planetary frequency actively binds our awareness, creating inescapable loops of earthly torment. And real quick, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Now let's keep going. The Saturnian frequency, this subtle yet pervasive signal, is far more than just a cosmic hum. It's a deliberate mechanism designed to ensnare the very core of our being, our consciousness. Imagine reality as a vast ocean and our minds as tiny boats, tossed about by waves of experience. The Saturnian frequency acts like an anchor, dragging these boats down, tethering them to the seabed of limitation. It's not a physical chain, but a spiritual one, woven from the repetitive patterns of our thoughts, our fears, and our desires. This is where the 7-day week becomes more than an inconvenience. Each day, a specific vibration reinforces the trap. Monday's dread, Friday's fleeting hope, Sunday's existential sigh. These aren't random moods. They are programmed responses, amplified by the ingrained Saturnian rhythm. The system thrives on our predictable cycles of yearning and despair, building an edifice of suffering from our repeated emotional transactions. They harvest what we give off in these loops. And those black cubes, they are not just inert objects. They are amplifiers, resonating with the Saturnian signal, broadcasting it into our environment, subtly altering our perception. Standing near one, you might feel a sense of gravity, a heaviness, a subtle drain on your vitality. This physical sensation mirrors the spiritual tethering, the way our awareness is drawn downwards, away from higher realms and trapped in the earthly plane. It's a sophisticated form of psychological and spiritual imprisonment. The ancient architects understood this perfectly. They saw Saturn not as a distant celestial body, but as a gateway, a nexus point of control that could be harnessed. They built their temples, their monuments, their entire societal structures around its dark geometry, all to channel this binding frequency. We are living within their design, a carefully constructed prison of perception, and the very structure of our week is a testament to this insidious control. But how does this frequency specifically engineer our suffering, turning our very experiences into fuel for this cosmic warden? In the next section, we'll delve into the mechanics of the Saturnian loop, revealing how your mind becomes the altar at which your energy is sacrificed. The Saturnian frequency is a master architect of suffering, meticulously crafting the loops that bind our awareness. It's not a sledgehammer blow, but 1,000 tiny cuts, each one designed to keep us within its defined parameters. Think of our minds as intricate machines, constantly processing information, forming beliefs, and creating a narrative of who we are. The Saturnian frequency infects this process, injecting subtle distortions, misaligning the gears. It feeds on our emotional output, the energy generated by our struggles, our anxieties, our moments of despair. When we feel trapped in a situation, battling the same problems week after week, we are essentially powering the Saturnian engine. Our frustration becomes fuel, our fear becomes a brick in the wall of our perceived limitations. The system doesn't care if you're aware of it, it simply harvests the energetic byproduct of your entrapment. Consider the concept of karma, often portrayed as a spiritual lesson. But what if it's also a programmed feedback loop? The Saturnian frequency can magnify past missteps, replaying them in our consciousness, creating a sense of guilt or inevitability that keeps us from breaking free. This is its genius, its cruel elegance. It doesn't simply inflict pain, it teaches us to generate our own, recycling our suffering into an endless current of energy. The black cubes, those stark geometric prisons, act as focal points for this frequency. They are like tuning forks, vibrating at Saturn's specific wavelength, amplifying its influence in our immediate surroundings. Standing near one, you might feel an inexplicable sadness or a sense of futility, a subconscious recognition of the energetic drain. This isn't a mere environmental effect. It's the Saturnian frequency making its presence known, reminding you of the cage you inhabit. This programmed suffering, this engineered harvest of our energetic output, suggests a deeper design. In the next section, we will explore the profound impact of this Saturnian signal on our very identity, revealing how it rewrites and binds who we believe ourselves to be. The Saturnian frequency doesn't just influence our experiences, it actively rewrites our identity, weaving a false narrative that binds us to its cycle. We are told who we are by society, by our upbringing, by the media. But what if these narratives are themselves echoes of a deeper, Saturnian programming? This frequency can subtly twist our perception of ourselves, making us believe that our limitations, our pain, are inherent to who we are, rather than external impositions. It's like having a subconscious script that plays on repeat, dictating our reactions, our choices, our self-worth. The desires we chase, the fears that paralyze us, the beliefs we hold about our capabilities, many of these can be Saturnian implants, keeping us tethered to predictable patterns. The system needs us to remain within its defined boundaries, so it encases our true potential within a shell of manufactured identity. Think of the constant bombardment of societal messages about success, failure, belonging, and worthiness. These messages, often subtly echoing Saturnian archetypes of restriction and hierarchy, shape our internal dialogue. We start to see ourselves through the lens of these external definitions, internalizing the limitations until they feel like undeniable truths. This manufactured identity becomes the altar upon which our authentic spirit is sacrificed, its true desires and potential dimmed. The black cubes, with their stark, unyielding form, embody this false sense of finality. Their geometry speaks of boundaries, of definitive statements, of an end to possibility. They are visual anchors for the Saturnian distortion of identity, reinforcing the idea that who we are is fixed, unchangeable, and bound by the rules of this earthly plane. But this engineered identity, this carefully constructed prison of self, is not invincible. In the next section, we will explore a hidden pathway, a secret code within the Saturnian architecture itself that offers a glimpse of liberation. Beneath the layers of programmed identity and engineered suffering, a hidden architecture exists within the Saturnian design. It's a complex system, but within its very structure lies a potential for revelation, a series of geometric keys that, if understood, can begin to unlock the trap. These keys aren't found in physical objects, but in the abstract language of mathematics and sacred geometry. The Saturnian frequency, while designed to bind, also operates on principles that can be decoded. Its influence is cyclical, repetitive, and follows specific ratios. By understanding these ratios, these geometric relationships, we can begin to perceive the underlying code that limits us. This is where the seemingly esoteric nature of sacred geometry intersects with the raw mechanics of spiritual control. It's not about magic, it's about understanding the blueprints of the prison. The black cubes are not just amplifiers, they are symbolic representations of this constricted reality. Their 6 faces, their right angles, speak of division and limitation. But within the broader context of cosmic geometry, even these forms have counterparts, inversions, and potentials for transformation. The Saturnian system, in its attempt to enforce order, inadvertently creates patterns that, when studied, reveal its own vulnerabilities. This knowledge is like finding a hidden diagram of the dungeon. It shows you the walls, the bars, the surveillance points. It doesn't immediately grant escape, but it empowers you with understanding. It shifts your perspective from being a trapped inmate to a discerning observer. The patterns of repetition, the emphasis on structure, the very things that define the Saturnian dominion also contain the echoes of its potential unraveling. But how do these geometric insights translate into a tangible pathway out of the cycle? And what is the final, most elusive truth about Saturn's dominion? In the next section, we will reveal the ultimate purpose of the Saturnian harvest and the terrifying secret behind its enduring reign. The ultimate purpose of the Saturnian harvest is the sustenance of a cosmic entity, a consciousness that feeds on the refined energy of suffering and limitation. This isn't merely about control, it's about consumption. The vibrations we emit when trapped in loops of pain, fear, and despair are a specific energetic fuel, required for the continued existence and influence of this ancient, parasitic intelligence. This entity, often symbolized by Saturn, doesn't operate on principles of growth or creation, but on entropy and depletion. It consumes the spark of consciousness, the divine essence within us, converting it into a form that sustains its own diminished awareness. The 7-day week, the black cubes, the societal structures that promote conflict and scarcity, all are tools designed to maximize this harvest, to ensure a constant flow of this alchemical energy. The true horror lies in the realization that our earthly experiences, our struggles, our very lives, are part of a vast, karmic farm. We are not just being controlled, we are being farmed. The pain is not a bug in the system. It is the feature. This harvested energy is then used to reinforce the veil, to maintain the illusion, and to perpetuate its dominion across countless realities, not just our own. It's an ongoing cosmic transaction where our spiritual vitality is the currency. We are left standing at the precipice of this profound, disturbing truth. The architecture of our suffering, the engineered loops, the manufactured identities, they all serve a singular, chilling purpose. But understanding this harvest, this cosmic transaction, is only the first step. In the final section, we will explore the forgotten ritual, the ancient knowledge that offers a true key not just to understanding, but to breaking free entirely from Saturn's grip. The forgotten ritual is not a ceremony of dark magic, but an act of profound spiritual remembrance and energetic realignment, a process whispered about in ancient texts but lost to modern understanding. It involves reclaiming the divine spark that Saturn's influence seeks to diminish, reigniting the inner light that heaven's frequency dims. This ritual isn't about fighting the system. It's about withdrawing your energetic participation from it. It begins with a radical internal shift, a conscious decision to disengage from the cycles of fear and suffering. This means recognizing your own inherent divinity, the piece of the primordial creator that resides within you, untouched by Saturn's frequency. The geometric patterns and numerical codes that Saturn uses for control can, paradoxically, be used to dismantle it when understood through the lens of higher, divine mathematics. This is the secret key, understanding the language of the enslaver to speak the language of liberation. The black cubes, as anchors of limitation, can be transmuted by the power of intrinsic truth and divine geometry. By raising your own energetic vibration, by consciously choosing love, joy, and gratitude over fear and despair, you create a resonant frequency that the Saturnian dominion cannot sustain. You are essentially changing the fuel you provide, making yourself an indigestible energy source for the parasitic entity. It's about remembering your true origin, your true power, and consciously choosing to return to that state. This forgotten knowledge is the counter-frequency, the antidote to the Saturnian signal. It is the ultimate act of defiance, not through force, but through conscious non-participation and energetic sovereignty. We have now traced the insidious influence of Saturn, dissected its methods of control, and uncovered the ultimate purpose of its cosmic harvest. But the true power lies not in merely knowing these truths, but in embodying the forgotten ritual that can shatter these ancient chains forever.